Long time no see, huh? This is a video that I wanted to make for a while, but due to various commitments like uni and having 3 weeks off of uni and not wanting to think about uni at all, and getting a year older, that was fun. But with all of that happening at once, there has been lack of trans talk. But trans talk is back with, like I say, a topic that I've wanted to speak about for a little bit now. And if you're a regular viewer of trans talk, you know that I say goodbye to professionalism. I don't believe in professionalism. We're all friends here. We're here to learn and grow together and just have a nice, warm, comfortable environment. So professionalism, bye-bye. And also, normally I would prepare something for a trans talk video. Like previously, I've had documents that I've read off of my phone. But I also like doing stuff completely off the cuff, off the top of my head, which is what we're going to do today. I just want to talk about and divulge my true feelings on the subject without having to overthink or overcomplicate anything. Also, yes, there's a couple of differences since the last video. My ears are now pierced, and my hair is shorter, kind of, and purple, though I think it needs a re-dye. So ignore that and just look at this. I don't know what I'm going to title this video yet. I'll come up with it at some point. But if the title that I come up with doesn't already allude to it, I'm just going to throw up a quick disclaimer now that this video is going to be talking about mental health and body issues and possibly alluding to or explicitly talking about some stuff that might potentially be triggering. So, you have been warned about the upcoming content. So, if you think that any of those points might throw you off slightly, please watch with caution. Hopefully, if you're one of those people and you do watch, then even if it does upset you a little bit, hopefully it will be nice to know that it's not just you, because we all struggled together, am I right? So what exactly is today's topic? It's going to be about me, trans femme, and I don't really know how to describe it. I want to say inner perceptions versus outward perceptions versus seeing somebody and thinking, do I want to be with you or do I want to be you? And I think for manners' sake, the sunglasses need to come off. As much as I love them, and literally sit in uni for like 7 hours wearing sunglasses the entire time, because I am that person. I want to connect with you. So we're going to have a quick glasses change. I need to get new ones. And then we're going to be introspective, look outwards, and at wider society. I feel like I'm on one right now. I'm so sorry. So, me. My name is Vicky Lee. If you're new here, my name is Vicky Lee. I'm a trans woman. My pronouns are she, they. And I remember talking to my friend one day. That rhymed. There's a lot of rhyme going on right now. I remember talking to my friend one day about something to do with being trans, and she said that it was good and nice that I was talking about it to her because it helped her understand me more, but it's also, she feels, a topic that not a lot of trans people talk about. And I don't really watch many trans creators because as a trans person, seeing somebody who looks or is a lot more developed than where you are in your transition, it can be incredibly hard. It can make you bitter. It can upset you seeing somebody who, even though you're both exactly the same, you're at completely different points in your journey. And jealousy is a thing. Jealousy is a real monster. And even though you want to be happy for that person, say, if I come across a trans girl on TikTok who's managed to be on hormones, who's managed to have breast surgery, who manages to go out in public every day in like a skirt and makeup looking like 100% the real deal. If I were to come across that on TikTok, I would literally just sit there, look at them, and want to bawl my... I was going to use bad language there, but we're trying to keep this child friendly. I would literally sit there and want to bawl my eyes out because, yes, I am genuinely happy for you, but it's just the fact that you are in a completely different position to me that is about 300 to 300 miles ahead of where I am. And even though arguably I do pass, for example, earlier this year, me, my mum and her boyfriend went to Colchester. I'm from the UK, if you haven't guessed. We went to Colchester for, not Mother's Day, that was Harwich. We went to Colchester, and as we got to Colchester, me and Mum both needed the loo. But because at that point I was still a bit iffy as to what toilets to use, and I felt bad using the disabled toilets because if I, and I think the term is able-bodied, if I, an able-bodied person, went in the disabled toilets and walked out and there was somebody in a wheelchair or a mobility scooter, I would feel incredibly bad. Chances are that person might be a lot older than me, brought up in a political and social climate where opinions on trans people were completely different. Opinions on queer people were completely different. So they could see me and just either like slur me or be really upset and offended that somebody who can walk was using the disabled bathrooms. But at uni, I do use the disabled bathrooms because I feel like it's a much more comfortable environment. I feel like I haven't got to the point of using female bathrooms at girl bathrooms at uni because sometimes I do feel like an imposter, and I used to feel like an imposter a lot. But when I go out with friends or on my own, I am getting a lot better at using female toilets. But when I was in Colchester, I didn't want to use the female toilet. No, I didn't want to use the disabled toilet. So I was walking towards the boy toilet, and then there was a cleaner, and he stopped me, and he was like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "To the toilet." And he said, "Women's bathrooms are that way." And I had to suppress a smile or a laugh as I walked away because it was like, this random guy who I've never met, I've been in this town for about 5 minutes, I've already been correctly gendered and directed to the right toilet. So, I do pass. When I was in Cambridge a couple of months ago, it sounds like I really get about. I don't. I stay in my room. When I was in Cambridge... No, this was when I was at Harwich. I went to Argos, and there was like a 3-4-year-old toddler, and he went up to his mum, and he was like, "Can that lady use the computer that you're at?" And I was like, "You're 3 years old, and you took one look at me, and you..." That was really disappointing. You were like 3 years old, and you took one look at me, and you got it like that. If a 3-year-old can do it, why can't everyone else? Probably, arguably, because of the political and social climate that they've been brought up in, as opposed to somebody born in the 60s when being gay and trans was severely looked down upon. But, like, the point still stands. If a 3-year-old can do it, why can't everyone else? If this is the first trans talk video you're watching, I am incredibly good at going on tangents. I've completely lost where I was at the beginning of this point/conversation. Let me get comfy. So, scrolling on TikTok, see trans girl a lot more along the way. I was going to say developed, that doesn't feel like the right word. See trans girl a lot more along the way than me. Incredibly jealous. Happy for, don't get me wrong, incredibly happy for, but also incredibly jealous because I want what you have. And as somebody who is not affluent, as somebody who does not have a bank of money behind me, cannot afford to go get private hormones or breast surgery, as somebody on the waiting list at the NHS, and has been since they were 18 and are now 22, that's a long time waiting. And while that is incredibly bad and there should be so much more medical help for trans people, I am kind of grateful because in that time I've managed to go off to my access course and start at uni, and I feel more woman than I ever have. People look at me and go, not all the time, but people look at me and go, that is a woman, which is what I want. I've got my hair cut like this because I literally just want to look like a raging lesbian. Hopefully the ears pierced will now allude to that as well. Or they'll just look at me and think I'm gay, which I am, but like... I'll take it. I'll take anything that isn't like being he/himmed, because no, that's not the vibe. I don't like the cut of your vibe. So looking at other trans people can be very upsetting, I guess is the word. But I think what's worse than looking at trans people is looking at cis women, because you're scrolling through. One thing that I really hate right now is influencer culture and social media. Cis women seem to think that, not that it's okay, but a lot of them, especially the more popular, verified ones, this is my opinion, but a lot of the more popular ones and verified ones appear in various states of undress. A lot of their body is not covered. So you can see a lot. And as somebody who is missing a couple of assets that a cis woman is born with and is able to flaunt and show off, cis women are like my worst enemy. There have been days, not so much anymore, thankfully. I'm not saying that I'm completely cured and completely confident in my body, because I'm not. I have a long way to go. But there used to be a lot of days where I, a queer trans woman, would be scrolling through TikTok and just see gorgeous girl after gorgeous girl after gorgeous girl, everything in the right places, looking incredible, like they should be on the cover of Vogue or the next rising woman celebrity in the next big film like Florence Pugh or Zendaya. Or headline news like, I want to say Emma Watson, but all the stuff around Emma Watson was incredibly disgusting and over-sexualized. But I hope you're getting the picture that I'm trying to paint. There are just these women who look incredible, like they should be famous, like everybody should be obsessed with them and in love with them and in awe of them, with everything in the right place. And I just look at them and I'm like, you are so much better and prettier and perfect than I can and will ever be. And I don't want anyone to turn around and be like, yo, Vicky, you're great, you're beautiful. There are days where I can wake up and look in the mirror and go, yo, you're so damn sexy today. There are days where I can appreciate myself, but there are also days where cis beauty gets the better of me. And I look at them and they're just so incredible and perfect, and I just want to be them, because they probably won't count it. They probably have their own body issues. They probably hate themselves, or want a bigger something or a smaller something else, or want to get like their nose done, or Botox or lip fillers. Welcome to 2022 social media culture. They probably want to do their own body modifications, but as somebody who was born without the ability to have those things, and is constantly in search of and waiting for the right time and opportunity to get those things that I am missing, to see somebody who was just given them, it's like, that can also really hurt and be upsetting. And they're like I say, not so much now, but there used to be days where I would scroll through TikTok, see these beautiful women, and literally I couldn't take it. I physically could not look at them anymore. So I would turn off my phone, put my phone down, lay in bed wanting to cry, then have a depression nap. And then when I wake up 3 or 5 hours later, completely turn myself away from social media and the digital world, and just like play Minecraft and listen to music. Completely escape from that digital show-offy landscape, because everybody that I was seeing is everything that I am not and don't have the ability to be for years or decades from now. I was talking to my wonderful friend Beth. We had a very intellectual conversation a couple of weeks ago, and you know, drag queens and femboys, I feel like I have my own opinions and feelings towards them. I'm going to start with drag queens, because I feel like that's probably the more controversial topic, and I'm not just saying this to be controversial or letting my individuality complex rule, because I have one hell of an individuality complex, but I feel like when it comes into myself and who I am, it should be excusable and understandable. But we all know drag queens, and I feel like there's kind of a stereotype that if you're gay, if you're queer, you love drag queens. And I just want to make it clear that I do not love drag queens. Apparently RuPaul has said some like severely transphobic things, and I've seen interviews with RuPaul, and he just seems far too arrogant for my liking. He needs to be humbled. But the rest of the drag queens, I've never watched Drag Race or whatever is going on. The only thing I have seen that has anything to do with drag is the film Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Only because Richard E. Grant is in it. Because I love that man more than I love myself. And I did really like it. Even though I'm not a drag person, I kind of saw mirrors of me being trans in it. And trust me, I bawled my eyes out at that film, and getting to see Richard E. Grant in heels and in drag makeup and singing. Amazing. Richard E. Grant I can give a pass, because that is a straight, white, 60-year-old man being an ally. But when it's the younger, more famous drag queens on like Drag Race or whatever, I have problems with indulging and enjoying that, because these are gay men, I think, cis gay men, sometimes trans gay men, dressed up as women, looking incredibly fabulous, looking absolutely fabulous, incredibly gorgeous, and then there's just me sat here looking like this, with absolutely zero ability to look like that. And again, it's the same thing as seeing the cis girls and the trans girls. It just is really hard to look at because they look so much better than me and have so much more confidence than me and much more of an ability to present as female/femme. And then I'm just sat here looking like this, playing Minecraft and listening to K-pop to escape my incredibly bad feelings, and then getting onto the femboy thing. I've been talking about TikTok a lot in this video and yesterday in history. There's a lot to be said about TikTok, but again, on TikTok there is this one, I'm pretty sure, straight cis guy who streams on Twitch or makes YouTube videos, and every now and again comes up in my For You page, and it's just, to me, I haven't done research into it because I don't want to, but to me on the surface it just looks like a cis guy dressed like a woman. I take issue with the whole femboy thing because it just seems weird. It just seems weird and bizarre to me how straight cis guys can dress up as women or dress up to look like women with their long hair, their skirts, their fishnet tights, their knee-high socks, their heels, their makeup. How there can be a straight cis guy underneath that and get away with it and have other guys like it. But then when it comes to a trans woman who is somebody so discontent with their body and their presentation to the world, when it comes to a trans woman who's making a conscious effort to dress up, to glam up as the opposite gender they are transitioning into, suddenly the people who are so in love with the femboys because of their dressing up suddenly take an issue with it and hate crime us, abuse us, try to kill us. And I don't see how or why a femboy can get away with doing that when a trans woman who arguably needs and wants to present that way based on something so purely and deeply rooted inside of them can't get away with it. So when I see Mr. Femboy on TikTok again, I scroll because I can't stand to see it. I can't stand to see a straight white cis guy. He might be gay, like I said, I don't know. But I can't stand to see what I see as a straight white cis guy being perceived as a woman when I am making a conscious effort every day to leave the house and be seen as a woman to my family, to the entire world, and sometimes that fails. I think I've said it before, I'm lucky enough not to have been hate crimed. I'm lucky enough not to have been attacked, but I know that there are people out there like me, my brothers and sisters, making an effort based on something so deep rooted inside of them who get attacked, and there are people doing the exact same thing so shallowly, so baselessly, getting away with it and being adored for it. Why can you do that when we can't? Sorry, I kind of got passionate there. It was really hard to not start using bad language, but I hope that just shows you what I truly think and feel about this, because it's not damn easy being trans. Yes, every day you leave the house, you run the risk of being attacked, but that's a physical outward thing. Unless you are trans yourself, you don't know what the hell is going on inside of our heads when we see somebody who we just want to be like, and we are so deeply upset because they are so perfect and so much better than us, but we have to wait years just to be consulted by a professional, to be told that we are trans from a medical's perspective, when we have known for years, and we are making a conscious effort to our family and our friends and the world to try and be perceived as the person that we are and trying to become. But we have to wait years to get a diagnosis. We have to wait years to be seen by a professional. We have to wait years to start changing our hormones. We have to find thousands, if not tens of thousands of pounds to be able to change our bodies, to be more comfortable inside of them. But for some reason, people have the ability to dress up, look gorgeous, get away with it like that, when we're trying so hard to wake up and just be okay with ourselves and be patient and just live our lives every day and possibly leave the house and get beaten to the curb. Again, I've not had that experience, but I know that it happens. There's a gay couple that I watch, Sybil and Ali. If you're queer, please go and watch them. They're incredible. But I watch Sybil and Ali, and they do light-hearted fun videos. They also do pretty serious, there are social issues going on and we're going to talk about and raise awareness for them. And I'm pretty sure in one of the videos they said that black trans women are the highest statistic of, I don't know if it was murders or assaults, but there is a large number of black trans women who do not make it through the day okay. And I don't know or understand why we are a victim when we're just trying to exist and be okay with ourselves. Because like I said, it's not a walk in the park. I wish it was a walk in the park. It's really not. And then people decide to make it a lot more difficult. Or rather than letting us walk through the park, they push us into the pond and drown us and cut our lives short before we even get the chance to feel totally okay with ourselves. And sometimes I lose faith in everything because I'm waiting so damn long, and I just feel like, is it worth it? Is there going to be a point in my life where the system fixes itself so I can be happy and content with my body? Because come next year, it will mark 10 years of wanting a sex change. Without even knowing that I was trans, it marks 10 years of wanting to change my body, and here I am, a decade later. I've been diagnosed as trans. I don't have it on a piece of paper. I don't think I have it on a piece of paper. I'm still waiting. I can go out and present to the world that I am a woman. And I can go to the bathroom and be directed to the correct bathroom. I can have a child tell his mum that that lady wants to use the computer. But when it comes to legal documents, when it comes to my own body, I am so far behind. I remember going to Spoons and ordering a double vodka and Pepsi Max, and the Spoons worker brought it over. I thought she was really cute. I'm queer, I like girls, okay? I thought she was really cute. And she asked me for my ID, so I gave my ID. And I was like, in my head, in my body, I know I am trans femme. To other people, I don't know what goes on in their head and how they see my body. And this cute girl was looking at my ID to verify that I was old enough to buy and drink alcohol. And as soon as I handed it over, I was like, she's going to see my birth name, she's going to see my sex, because my ID does not say Vicky Lee female yet, and it's not easy to change that. Change my name, it's kind of easy. Being able to change your sex is really not easy. And I thought, if she looks at me and thinks that I am a woman, she could look at my ID and think, okay, that's not a woman. And you could argue that because of the social political climate that we're in, and that she was younger, about the same age as me, she could totally dismiss the ID and what it says on the ID, because that's not fact. That doesn't align with me, who I am and how my friends perceive me. But if it was somebody a lot older who saw me as a woman and then had to ID me and saw the wrong facts on my ID, and this woman was transphobic, or if it was a man who was older, or doesn't even have to be like 60 or 50, if it was a man who saw me and was transphobic, what would happen? What would happen? So I hope that paints the picture for you that trans women, cis women, femboys and drag queens, it's really hard to look at you sometimes because you're just so perfect and more along the line than me, and I just sit here struggling, wishing that I could be like you. That was quite a heavy topic. My chest feels all tight and heavy. I think I need to go listen to some K-pop and play Minecraft to just escape the world for a little bit. There was another raw, honest thought video with you. Kind of got passionate, kind of got angry, kind of got charged. But I hope that said a lot. And I hope that this video has helped develop your understanding of me as a trans woman and how day to day I struggle. And I hope that if you yourself are a trans woman or a trans guy or just non-binary in general, and you struggle with yourself and you struggle to look at the people around you because you want to be exactly like them, but you don't have the power to be like them, and you're waiting for yourself to change. My brother and my sister in trans, or my they them in trans, you are not alone. I love you, I see you, I acknowledge you, I'm here for you. But yeah, that wraps up another trans talk video. I don't know when the next one's going to be, I don't know what the topic is going to be, but I do want to start reeling in some friends soon to try and talk about themselves, to raise awareness for other things related to being queer and being trans, and maybe we'll start talking about some social issues as well, because trans talk can be anything. This trans can talk about anything, and if I am really passionate about something, if I know a lot about that subject or topic, I can talk for hours or days. But until the next time, Please go and watch The Batman 2022, directed and written by Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson. And please go and listen to Psy Ninth, the 9th album by Psy. Those are like my two favourite things at the minute. That's why I haven't done one of these, because I've been too busy caught up in the world of K-pop and the Batman. That's what's keeping me going whilst I'm waiting to change my body. So yes, go do what makes you happy. Please try and understand us. Don't attack us. And if you are just like me, keep on going, because hopefully one day it will be better for us all. So yeah, peace, love, and may you live to see the dawn.